Neo Discovery is the second Neo expansion. Released as Crossing the Ruins in Japan, the set features many new Pokemon from the second generation. While this set wasn't as revolutionary as Genesis, it still brought powerful baby Pokemon, strong main attackers for new archetypes, and renewed life to fan-favorite themes. Two babies, Tyrogue and Igglybuff, bring interactive play to the format. Tyrogue can do 30 damage for 1 energy, which punishes over-reliance on other babies and serves as an efficient clean-up tech for any deck that can't scale damage. Igglybuff's Gaze power turns off 1 opposing power during the user's turn. This provided yet another out to Pokemon such as Vileplume, Aerodactyl, or Brock's Ninetales on the bench. New archetypes such as Forretress, Fossils, and Frog Song emerged during Neo Discovery. Each copy of Forretress deals 10 damage to defending Pokemon when they retreat, and it switches out to the bench after attacking into a myriad of existing wall Pokemon depending on the matchup. Fossil Pokemon gained a tool in Fossil Egg. Previously, all fossils evolved from Mysterious Fossil. However, Fossil Egg placed the next stage of a fossil right onto the bench if the user won a coin flip. Similarly, the new Kabuto and Ammonite used their powers to act as an additional fossil egg and put stage 1 fossils right onto the bench. This all culminates with the new Kabutops, which deals damage early and scales up with the number of energy attached. Politoed is another water type pushing a new strategy. When 3 or more of any of the Poly-Evolution line is in play, Politoed's attacks do an additional 40 damage due to Frog Song. Politoed is expensive, at 4 energy required to attack, but Poliwhirl's Belly Drum accelerates 2 basic energies from the deck onto itself in exchange for 3 damage. The very next turn, Poliwhirl evolves into Politoed and can double slap for an average of 80 damage on turn 3. Popular cards from previous formats see a boost, in some cases become competitive for the first time. Ninetales grabs a new evolution in the form of Tyranitar, utilizing Electrode to buzz-zap extra energies onto Ninetales and reduce the number of benched Pokemon taking damage from Trample's spread effect. Up until this point, evolutions saw fringe play, but were largely considered a casual strategy. A new Eevee allows the user to flip a coin when attaching an energy. If heads, they can search their deck for an evolution that matches the energy type and evolve Eevee right away. This speed and consistency, along with the new Umbreons and Espeons included in the expansion, breathe a competitive element into this fan favorite archetype. They are not tier 1, but very much had rogue potential and held a place in any limited format such as the Progression Series. Lastly, many power-based decks make a massive comeback due to Igglybuff shutting down Vileplume and Aerodactyl. Rain Dance, Energy Trans, and Fire Recharge move up the meta rankings. Let's travel into the unknown and see what awaits us in the ruins of Neo Discovery. Welcome to the second season of the Pokémon TCG Progression Series, where Swedish Ninja Fish and I open a booster box, which is 36 packs of one Pokémon set, build a deck using those cards, and have a best of 3 battle. The winner will upgrade their deck with a random prize. In later episodes, we each open a box of the next expansion of the Pokémon trading card game to continue upgrading our decks before battling each other again. This is the Pokémon TCG Progression Series.
What's going on, everybody? Swedish Ninja Fish here, and we are back with some more Pokemon TCG Progression Series. And today, we are going to be diving into Neo Discovery, also known as Crossing the Ruins in Japan. We are back. This is the second in the Neo series. So let us kind of dive in. There's a couple things I want to talk about in Neo Discovery. We are coming off of our first ever draw, so that was interesting. I really wasn't expecting to do as well as I did. You know, it wasn't as luck-based as I thought. Our deck held out pretty good. in the disconnected match and the game 4. So I'm glad we did a draw. It's funny though that we did a draw and just got commons. So. I'm also excited that we are doing standard rules and rotations, so that'll be really fun, really fresh, I think, too. So you're not just seeing Vileplume for the next, 2 years. There isn't really a lot that I want to talk about. It's because Fortress looks cool and he has a power. I kind of just want to see what he does. So spikes. During your opponent's turn, whenever one of your opponent's bench Pokemon becomes his or her active, Fortress does 10... Oh. That's... Oh. Now, I could see him playing the Dragonite again, and this actually would be really nice, because could you imagine just having Fortress on the bench, and he just takes 10 damage every time? I don't even think this is in a deck, but I might have to do my own deck. So, I mean, and obviously it depends on if we get Fortress. I'm thinking about it, alright? Smeargle is interesting. It's in a couple decks. It has the move Sketch. The depending Pokemon attacked last turn and Smeargle was in play during the attack, Smeargle copies that attack, so that's kind of cool. So I don't know how good really this is. It's interesting though. Aha! Here we go. Igglybuff. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Another baby Pokemon, which can survive by coin flips. But this one has the Pokemon Power Gaze. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has a Pokemon power. That power stops working until the end of this turn. It turns off Vileplume till the end of my turn, and then it activates back on. That's really cool. I think this is going to be a huge deterrent to now playing Vileplume. And really the last one that I want to talk about was the last baby Pokemon, Tyrogue. Flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. So the reason why this is so great is that it's 30 attack, so it can knock out a baby Pokemon. Also, it is 30 attack for just one colorless. Babies can't die, so if he keeps flipping coins, he can just punch. Whether he has a Psyduck out or any really other of his Pokemon. It's really cool. And then we just have 4 trainers, which not really going to talk about because these 4 don't really do anything for me. Let's just transfer right over to our booster pack simulator and just get right into it.
All right, welcome into the Neo Discovery draft portion. I'm really excited about this set. It is a smaller set, just 75 cards, so we'll be able to probably get 4 of every uncommon and common, as well as multiple of each rare. So we really get to dive into some of the synergies for this set. This set didn't have a ton of impact on standard, but again, our decks are kind of watered down standard, right? We only have access to 1 Cleffa on Swedish Fish's side. I don't even have a Cleffa, so we can't pretend that we get to play all these setup decks that took over standard at this time, like Giovanni's Machamp. I'd love to play that deck. I have 3 of them, but I don't have any Cleffas to set up through a barrage of disruptive trainers, which I know Swedish has, and he's on the brink of either playing that deck, which is the combo trainer Destroy My Hand and Mill Me Out deck, or the Trainer Log Vileplume deck that we both played last time. It was a tie last time. If you watched the last episode, we got into a weird game state and then we disconnected, but Swedish had the lead, so we played a 4th game and I won the 4th game. So we considered it a tie. We know our decks are really close in power level. I'm playing different tech Pokemon than he is right now in Vileplume, but in general, it feels like a pretty stalemate matchup, so I wouldn't be surprised if he switches it up. We have to keep that in mind. One thing about this set that I really do like is the fossil synergies. So you could flip a coin and grab a fossil Pokemon that would otherwise evolve from Mysterious Fossil and just put it on your bench. So Kabutops is a stage 1 now instead of a stage 2, very viable. And Aerodactyl is a basic now, which is so huge. We only have 1 Aerodactyl, but if you imagine turboing through your deck like we have been, Yegg, Aerodactyl, turn 1, and then Swedish can't evolve Pokemon. He can't set up Vileplume. He can't set up Blastoise. Those different combo decks that we think he's going to be on, which is really nice. So we might be looking for that fossil deck, and let's just jump into it. There's a lot of cool things to talk about in this set that will be viable now, such as like Fortress with a Pastook Trio, and cards that force our opponent to switch out. So let's just get right into it and see how we do.
Neo Discovery. So we're gonna get started right here with the very first pack of Neo Discovery. Flip all, see what we've got. Politoed for our first rare. We got a Tyrogue. Okay. Same set, flip all, and just continue. We got Umbreon. Umbreon's cool. I'm kind of okay with Umbreon. Got another Tyrogue. Iggly buff. Okay, that's fantastic. We got a Smeargle. That's fantastic. And there it is. Tyrogue. Done.
Here's our first pack. Speaking of Fortress, the Pokemon power spikes. So if our opponent switches out, Fortress does 10 damage to it. So if we lure it out with Victory Bell, we force them to switch with Donphan. There's a couple other cards that do that in our format as well. Doug Trio is the same way, except you flip a coin. If heads 20, if tails 0. So it averages out to be 10 as well. And I know I have 4 of those Dark Doug Trio from Team Rocket. So that is a strategy we could play. It's a little janky, but it works out. Speaking of fossils, Kabuto here has an ability, Revive Friends. So you can flip a coin. You have a 50% chance of searching your deck for a Kabuto and just putting it on the bench. So you can kind of swarm with this Kabuto deck, and now they're basics instead of being stage 1s, basically. So you flip head on eggs, search out this Kabuto, put it on your bench. Flip head on Revive Friends, search out another Kabuto, put it on your bench. Now Kabutops is an awesome attacker, and hopefully we'll open one so we can take a look at that. Houndoom, another Kabuto. Here's Fossil Egg. Flip a coin. If heads, either search your deck for a card that evolves from a mysterious fossil and put it on your bench, or search your hand for one and put it on the bench this way. Treat it as a basic Pokemon. If you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So again, it just tutors out a fossil Pokemon even from past sets. What's interesting is the Ammonite from this set has Revive Fossil, but not Revive Friends. So Ammonite can search for any other fossil, so it might be worth teching Ammonite. I don't think Amistar is a very good stage 1 attacker in this format. If we kind of think our way into a bag where we think we need a fighting type weakness, then maybe, but I think we would just play old Kabutops if that was the case. But this can search for literally any fossil, so this could search you for Aerodactyl as well. So we might think about playing an Ammonite without Amistar just to search out better fossils if we do play this deck. Unknown Normal reduces normal damage. So there's some interesting viabilities here. We got the rare Unknown A, which if you're playing damage swap, it might be okay. It does 10 damage for one, so it gets into Dratini well, which ends up hitting Mr. Mime for 20 because of weakness. But then you can put more damage. You can put 30 damage on this guy using like Alakazam damage swap to move them up to him to do hidden power for 40, right? So it could be a 1 for 40 attacker, not awful. We also opened Tyrogue. So Tyrogue, with a 50% chance to not take damage when they attack, it just ends their turn and stops their attack, and it does 1 for maybe 30 if you flip heads. So it's a decent baby, and it gets played occasionally. Igglybuff is kind of the same way. It has that same wall ability, 50% chance to not die, to not take damage. Your opponent ends their turn without attacking. But once during your turn with Gaze, choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has a Pokemon power. That power stops working until the end of the next turn. This is a very powerful card, and we'll see play in our format. Unknown Engage gives you the option to shuffle your hand and draw 4, but it also gives your opponents the option. It's a symmetrical effect, but you can control when you play this, right? So if your opponent has an understandably good hand or a full hand, and they don't seem to be drawing dead on like energies under Trainer Lock, they probably won't shuffle, but maybe you need it. So Unknown E is not awful. Second Igglybuff, probably not playing Espeon, is something to keep in mind. Once the format rotates into Neo on, I think evolutions just get better. They're a little underwhelming, underpowered right now, but the EV, I don't think we've seen it yet, has the ability to evolve quicker. There's a second Fortress, so the dream's alive there.
Got another Umbreon. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's a good pick right there. Another Smeargle and another Iggly. So I like to see that. All right, we're going to keep going here. Tyranitar. Ooh, just getting over the halfway mark. We are now at 20, so I think that's a full playset of Igglybuff.
T-Tar. So T-Tar is a really, really strong attack in Trample. It's just super hard to set up because it requires 2 Dark Energy to attack, and it's a stage 2. Brock's Ninetales plays T-Tar, so it copies Tyranitar, removes it under Ninetales. Ninetales shifts into a Tyranitar. But the nice thing about Brock's Ninetales, is it treats its energy as Rainbow Energy, so you don't need to draw the Darkness or Rainbow Energy. So Ninetales can just use Trample for 4 energy, so the Brock's Ninetales deck plays this, but we don't have enough of those to make that deck work. It's a very fun deck, though. I think that was our third Tyro, Ciboooooo. All right, here's the big boy himself. So Ciboooooo says it's a stage 2, but with all of the shenanigans we're doing with fossils, it's basically a stage 1. Slash for colorless for 20, or Hydro Cutter for 1 fighting energy. Flip a number of coins equal to the number of energy cards attached to Ciboooooo. This attack does 40 damage times the number of heads. You can't flip more than 3 coins this way. So if you have 1 energy, you're just slashing, which is fine. But honestly, with Hydro Cutter, as soon as you have 2 energy on Ciboooooo, you should start using that, because it's going to average out at 40 with 2 and 60 with 3 energy. Ciboooooo is a very strong attacker. Here's that EV we talked about. Whenever you attach an energy card to EV, flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for a card that evolves from EV that is the same type as the energy card attached. Attach that card to EV. This counts as evolving EV. Shuffle your deck afterwards. This Pokemon can't be used if EV is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. So this Pokemon power just lets EV evolve really quickly, and you can kind of swarm your opponent with an evolutions deck. I think it's better post-rotation, but it's something to keep in mind. Sizor, so it looks threatening, is not very good, so False Swipe is just like Raticate, but you have to use a metal energy, and they're just so hard to come by. I don't have any. I would have to use a rainbow energy to get this to work, and Raticate is just better right now. Like, oh, third Fortress. 4th Fortress. Okay, we're there. If we want to play the deck, we talked about the ability. Let's talk about the attack. 1 metal and 2 colorless, so I would have to use this with one of my 3 rainbow, but it's possible. If your opponent has any bench Pokemon, he or she chooses one of them and switches it with his or her active Pokemon. Then if you have any benched Pokemon, you switch one of them with your active Pokemon for 30. The only issue with playing a setup deck like that is I don't have Cleffa, so we'd have to rely on big HP or walls like Dratini, Mr. Mime, and Kangaskhan. Second, Ciboooooo. Love to see it. We would want at least 3 of those to play that deck. Another Espeon, good for later, so that's our second Espeon. Legendary Collection also reprints the Flareon from base set, which is one of your main attackers. I think you play Espeon, Flareon, and Umbreon in that deck.
So we got another Smeargle. This one is a holographic rare. Won't complain there. Espeon. Oh, there's a Fortress. Okay. I'm cool with that. Another Fortress. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Something to think about. 2 more packs here. See if we can't get anything else just fancy. And final pack, we kind of got what we wanted, which is nice. You know, I feel like Frozen kind of wants the same things, and because I got mine so easily, he should get his. But this is the last pack. Here we are. Got another Tyranitar. So yeah, that was 36 booster packs or 1 booster box of Neo Discovery.
5th Fortress. Polytoad foil. You know, it's funny. In some sealed deck formats, you can play as many of a copy as you pull. That'd be hilarious for this format. 6 Fortress. Could you imagine? Just play 6 Fortress. Oh my god. All right, this is pack number 30. Oh, we got the foil Espeon, and the foils in this set are alternate arts as well, because Japan also did the foil and non-foil printings, just like Wizards had been doing the whole time. They caught on to this marketing thing, and it really worked out for them. 33, 7th Fortress. Let's play 7 Fortress, y'all. Another Magnemite. I really wish I had special metal energy. That would make me want to play Fortress really badly. Another T-Tar. Okay. This is our last pack. We're looking for our 3rd Ciboooooo. I think that's going to probably make or break whether we play that deck. Otherwise, I'm thinking Vileplume is probably still the way to go. And an unknown A. Okay, well, let me load this into our collector, and we'll start looking at some decks, see what we can do. Thanks for watching, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome in to the deck tech. A little bit of a bait and switch here, but we're going to talk about our deck from last time, where I ended up, and then where I decided to go. Spoilers, it's not this list. I have a feeling that Swedish is still playing Vileplume. If he's not, be very surprised. But we are still playing Vileplume. It's just a little bit different of a take. So I did end up on a Fortress deck. Now this is really risky. I'm missing some of the key cards to make this strategy kind of go off without a hitch. One of which being Recycle Energy. I did not pull one last video. With Recycle Energy, you can discard it from Dratini to retreat, and then you get it back, and you can keep retreating off of Dratini. So the core focus here, you set up Fortress, and Dark Trio. They both do an average of 10 damage whenever your opponent switches out their active Pokemon. Forretress's Rapid Spin attack does 30 and forces them to switch out. Donphan, I only have one, so we're kind of playing a Miser 1/1 copy. Rapid Spin, 3 fighting for 50, and it also switches them out, just like Forretress does. So we're playing 6 fighting energy and 6 psychic energy, so that we can attack with Psyduck turn 1 still and lock them if needed, and we can attack with Mr. Mime. Forretress is going to be difficult to attack with because of the metal energy requirement. Like I said, this list is really greedy. I'm playing 3 rainbow energy instead of any metal energy because we did not pull them. So a couple key things we would love to have here: 1 or 2 metal energy and a recycle energy. So very greedy list, but we are still playing the Dark Vileplume, Dark Gloom to kind of get it going. Now, because we don't have the recycle energy, normally we would Forretress, which forces us and our opponents both to switch out into Erica's Dratini and then retreat infinitely with the recycle energy. We are using things like Igglybuff. Igglybuff has free retreat, which is really useful, and it can snipe and turn off one ability on Swedish's bench per turn. So if he does have something like, I don't know, an Aerodactyl up or something, we might need Igglybuff to get out of it. But in general, we're playing it for the free retreat, and it's kind of a pseudo wall. They have to flip a coin to knock it out, which is nice. And then also we're playing 3 Diglett instead of 2 because the extra Diglett could just sit on the bench and be a free retreater as well as something that we just sack and throw into Swedish's board. Otherwise, we're just going to put up a Mr. Mime or a Dratini and just start either tail striking or meditating them until Swedish deals with it, and then we come back up with Donphan or Forretress and repeat the cycle. One thing to keep in mind with this deck is our opponent always gets to choose which Pokemon they switch out into. So if he has 2 attackers or he's still playing Dragonite, we're going to be a little bummed here. I don't think he's playing Dragonite. This is just a really hard read, and I could just be walking into the wall. We should probably play the Vileplume deck, but I did want to mix it up and play this deck. So let's jump into the games and see what Swedish has waiting for us.
And all right, everyone, welcome to the deck tech. So this is going to be my deck for Neo Discovery, and boy oh boy, we are doing a blast from the past. Welcome back, Rain Dance. So for those of you that don't know, Rain Dance is a water deck featuring Blastoise and his Pokemon power right here. It says, as often as you like during your turn, you may attach 1 water energy to your water Pokemon. I will also be playing 2 Lapras. Then we are also bringing back a legend, Articuno. So Articuno with its Freeze Dry and its Blizzard. Blizzard being the main one with the 50 and the ability with the flip of a coin to attack his bench. Bringing in some of the babies. Igglybuff. This card here will save the day. So I'm playing 2 Igglybuffs, so I have a better chance of getting it. Playing only one Cleffa because I only have one. And then I'm playing 1 Tyrogue just as a backup if I need it. Last episode was the first time I felt like I had some semblance of control. But we ended up in a tie where before then he's just been rickrolling the whole time. So we'll see what happens. We will see you in the battle.
All right, guys, welcome into the first game of the match for the next episode of the Pokemon Progression Series, where we are in the second set, Discovery, for the Neo series. It sounds like Swedish Fish and I might both be changing it up, as you saw in my deck build. It'll be interesting. It looks like Swedish is going first. Good luck, sir.
Good luck. Ooh, Pineco. Wait a minute. Are you doing a Fortress deck right now?
No, of course. I'm just playing Pineco.
With Erica's Dratini. Ooh, I know there's a Dratini deck out there and a Pineco. I don't know. All right, I'm going to reveal my hand. Are you ready? I'm putting a Lapras onto the bench, attaching a water energy to Cleffa. Use Eek.
What are we doing here? It looks like it's Rain Dance.
The king is back.
I think that's going to need to change up what we do. Thankfully, we're not weak to water. We'll just have to worry about Articuno's spread all of a sudden. Do a Pokemon Trader down this Pineco and go digging. I don't know what to grab. Like, I could just grab this and kind of do the same old story and hope he just can't get out of it. Other options. The other option is just this, and just sort of like slow play, get this thing going, and hope it does enough work. It also will get to get a few damage counters in now. Like him retreating this is going to really suck. Let's go this route just in case he has an out. This will allow us to get there.
Ooh, the Sai.
The Sai indeed.
Still playing the size. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I am going to lay down a Squirtle. I am going to lay down a new card from Discover. Igglybuff. Attach a water energy to Lapras. Use Professor Elm. Free retreat the Cleffa. Bring out the Lapras. Use Water Gun.
I'll attach to Dratini and retreat to Psyduck. And then start headaching.
Attach a water energy to Lapras to get the final buff. I will be placing our Lord and Savior Articuno and Water Gun.
Play a Fampi. I'll attach a Fighting to Fampi and then a Headache.
I can attach one more to Lapras, one more Squirtle on our bench, and Water Gun for knock.
Promote Dratini. Play a Diglett. Play a Donphan. Attach to Donphan and say go.
I am going to... Alright, we're going to Pokemon Trader away this Igglybuff for a Wartortle. I'm going to evolve a Squirtle into Wartortle. And attach an energy to Articuno.
Yep.
Gust of Wind, your Donphan. I'm going to Professor
Oh.
Oaks.
It's pretty good.
That and Water Gun.
I'm going to attach a Psychic Energy to Pineco and use Flail for now.
Okay. Evolve the Wartortle into Blastoise. Rain Dance twice onto Articuno. Yeah, I'm going to Water Gun for knock.
Sure. I'll promote Diglett since it has free retreat. Attach. Let's see here. Attach to Pineco and retreat to Dratini and say go.
It's Water Gun.
I will end my turn.
Okay. I am going to Water Gun.
Okay. I'll put a Focus Band on Dratini and end my turn.
Okay. Just gonna Water Gun for knock.
Okay. So we flipped tails on the Focus Band. That was pretty clutch for us to get. This doesn't really help us right now. I'll Boss's Way for a Dark Trio. Is it worth just like trying to flip for some of this stuff? I mean, this thing's gonna live longer, but not by much. I'll end my turn.
Okay, I'm gonna computer search, discarding a maintenance and a Professor Elm to grab a Pokemon breeder. I'm gonna breeder my Squirtle into a Blastoise. Water Gun.
Okay. I will play Fortress.
Oh, there he is.
And Warp Point.
Go Cleffa.
Okay. I will end my turn because I don't have a rainbow.
I'm going to put a gold berry onto Articuno. Energy retrieval by discarding an Igglybuff to get a water energy. Going to attach said water energy to Articuno. Going to use Gaze to turn off Dugtrio's ability. I'm going to retreat into Articuno. And I am going to use Blizzard.
Well, we drew an Oaks. So I might have a chance here. Oddish. Mime.
Ooh, look at you.
Pokemon Trader, away Dark Vileplume.
And he's playing interesting.
Pineco. Play Pineco. Play Elms. So that would heal it to that. And it would still be in danger, but we could retreat then. Is that what we want to do? Okay, so we'll play down a Diglett. I think I have to. Potion Energy on the Fortress and retreat. To Mr. Mime. And then say go. Ryan.
You're paralyzed.
Alright, nice. So you flipped heads and paralyzed me. I will play a Gloom. Pollen Stench. Ooh, baby, you're confused. Pokemon Trader, we have a chance. Grab a Fortress. Pokemon Trader. Grab Pineco for when this thing finally dies. Play Fortress. And end my turn. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
I do not like this. Okay, I'm gonna attach full heal to Articuno.
Nice.
I'm going to gaze for Fortress.
Okay.
I'm going to retreat Articuno back into Lapras.
So it'll only take Dugtrio and one Fortress, so it takes a couple points of damage.
Confuse Ray.
Yep. I will Elm, deciding not to put up the trainer lock. I don't think it benefits us to do that right now. Put a Psychic Energy on the Mime, make him scary. I don't think I can afford to try to confuse him here and shut off the Mime, but I guess I could technically retreat. Because then I just die, right? Because you're doing plus 20 right now, so it would be just lethal. Let's just end the turn.
Confuse Ray.
Okay, we're confused this time. So since we're already confused, we should probably just start going for things. So we're going to try and Pollen Stench. Okay, we won. So we don't take damage if we try to retreat and fail. But if we try to attack and fail, not only do we take damage and die, we lose the energy we attach for the turn. So I don't think it's correct to go for the attack here, but it might be correct to go for the retreat. Because if we remain confused, he just kills us anyway if he flips through it. I think we're retreating to Diglett because it survives the water gun. Because it caps out at 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then he'd have to retreat to try to do that. So let's flip for the retreat cost first. Okay, we flipped heads, so we're out. I don't think I want a big under and deal 10. Maybe I do, just 10 to Lapras, but it dies to the confusion flip anyway. Let's put a Rainbow Energy on the Fresh Fortress. Say go.
I'm going to Super Potion the Lapras.
Okay.
Attaching a new energy to the Lapras. Energy retrieval by discarding a Lapras to get 2 water energy back. Roll the dice on water gun. Nope.
So he flipped tails. Gonna boss his way for Dark Vileplume.
Ooh.
I don't have any other trainers left in my deck, so we're just gonna play Dark Vileplume. I don't think Pollen Stench is better than just taking him off trainers now. I say that and then I hesitate. Alright, Dark Vileplume, committing. I think I need to start wailing on you, so I'm gonna put a Fighting Energy on the second Fortress again. And then I'm going to retreat to Mr. Mime and say go.
I am going to try and confuse Ray. Sweet.
So he is able to do 10 damage, but did not confuse me this time, so we can leave Mr. Mime, unlike before where we had to keep retreating. One more turn and Mr. Mime dies, so we're going to attach to Fortress again and say go.
Okay, I am going to try and confuse Ray for the knock. Sweet.
Nice. Promote our free retreat Pokemon. Play a Dratini. Put a Psychic Energy on the other. Actually, play. That's something I want to do. I think it's something I have to do. On the other fortress, retreat into my second fortress, and we're going to use Rapid Spin. So we both get to then pick Pokemon to retreat to. So I'll get rid of your confusion. I'm going to retreat to Dratini, and say go.
Use Gaze to turn off Dark Vileplume. I am going to Super Energy Removal by discarding an energy from Cleffa, and I'm going to do it on your fortress. Get rid of your rainbow and your fighting. Use Dry for paralysis. And
I'll attach to my other fortress.
I am going to use Gaze to turn off Dark Vileplume. I am going to Item Finder, discarding a Breeder and an Energy for Super Energy Removal. I'm going to use Super Energy Removal, removing a Water Energy from Lapras to discard all of your energy off of your fortress.
Yep.
I'm going to do Freeze Dry.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think I made a mistake playing down the Dark Vileplume. For some reason, I felt like I could get enough damage on the board to deal with Igglybuff, but the double Super Energy removal has definitely killed that plan. So I should have left it as Gloom and just kept flipping here and not cared if it hit my Dratini. So I'm going to end my turn, but I think I'm too far behind now.
Yep. Freeze Dry.
Pass turn.
Freeze Dry.
Put up my Diglett. Pineco. Go ahead. Yeah, I could have retreated and not died there, but I don't think there's any outs.
All right, I'm going to use Gaze, turn off Dark Vileplume. I'm going to do Super Energy Retrieval by discarding a energy and a Warp Point to grab all of those energies back. Confirm. And we are going to just attach to Articuno and Blizzard for a new win. GG.
It's funny. It knocks out your Lapras.
Yeah.
Yeah, good game. I don't feel like I made the best decision, but also had I gone first, I would have Psyducked you.
That's true. It's true.
And we would have just sat there, looked at each other for a while, because your turn one, you went Gust, Trader, Elms for a new 7.
Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Game 2 and 3.
Yeah. I think if I win, it's always going to be close. I do think you're advantaged here, but let's see how it goes and get into game 2. No.
Go first again.
Oh,
Okay.
you bastard. I had it. Fucker. I'm so salty, dude.
You had it.
2 times in a row I had it and you went first. Jesus.
The Dickies, you have the Ducks. Okay, well, I'm going to have to make this count then. Gonna have to make this count. Okay, I'm going to attach an energy to Squirtle. I'm going to use Computer Search. I'm going to... Doesn't matter what I discard because I am going to search for a Professor Oaks. I'm going to use the Oaks. Not like this at all. This is not good. I'm just gonna let you know right now. That Psyduck's gonna kill. I need a Oaks. Okay, I'm going to Cleffa, Squirtle, Elm.
I have a chance. Oh, he's Elming too.
Lapras.
Okay, he's set up.
And then Bubble.
Okay. So I'm actually thinking that the second Psyduck is really important. Since he can Igglybuff my Vileplume, he can't Igglybuff a Psyduck. And if, like last game, I was just Psyducking every turn, basically, and, like, flipping for confusion, then Psyduck doesn't need to be a wall. So it might be a decent strat. For now, though, we'll play a Pineco.
Man.
Boss's Way. Doesn't really matter what we grab with the Boss's Way, because we're actually going to Pokemon Trader away the Dark Trio and grab a Diglett.
Damn, I went
Get
through
all
some
my little
cards.
buddies set up. attach to Psyduck. I am going to play another Psyduck. Seems greedy, but I think it's going to be essential.
You're a fiend.
Oaks. Now, is the last bench spot an Oddish or a second bench spreading Pokemon? I think it's probably just an Oddish. So we can get Confuse going as well as Trainer Lock. We'll retreat to Psyduck and Headache.
Stop. No, not the headache. All right. Bubble.
Dark Deck Trio. Fortress. Pokemon Trader down a Fortress. Grab a Gloom.
Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
Play Gloom.
That's sickening.
Let's see here. I think we want to keep the lockup. I don't want to get aggro yet. Attach an energy to Fortress and a Headache.
Oh, you're sickening. Bubble.
So we're paralyzed. Pollen Stench. Okay.
No.
That was probably the wrong order to do that in, actually. But I think we don't want to waste the heads. So I think we might wait on this. Do I play this? So I think my best play is actually just to go for Dark Vileplume. And give up on it. And then end my turn.
That Vileplume is makes me sad. We're gonna attach an energy to Lapras. Bubble.
Go ahead.
Bubble.
Go.
We're gonna bubble. Bubble hurt.
Yep. Go.
We are going to attach an energy to Lapras and bubble.
All right, I gotta find. I'll put up an Igglybuff. I gotta find energies here. So this Igglybuff is gonna be a decent wall for a minute. Energy attachments feel like gold in this deck. It's kind of annoying. I'll play a Mime and attach to it. I will just end my turn.
Okay. I'm gonna play a Tyrogue.
All the babies.
Yup. And we're just gonna continue the bubble train. Oh well, that's disappointing.
So he flipped tails and died.
Promote Cleffa.
Oh.
And it's your turn.
Okay. Attach to Mr. Mime. Retreat to Mr. Mime. And attempt to kill Cleffa. Got it. Nice. That was clutch.
Ooh.
Really needed that.
Alright. Pulling out the Lapras. We are just going to Fuse Ray.
So if he has an energy, Mime is in danger of death while confused. So I think we do have to try to go for the retreat here. Got it. And then I think I just need to end my turn.
Alright. Let's see if we can't eliminate this Igglybuff. Perfect.
Nice. So he got the flip on it, which is good for him. We'll go back up with the Mime. Attach to the Mime, play a Dratini, and meditate.
Fuse Ray.
So no confusion. Lucked out there. It's really unfortunate that you put me in a bind to put the Dark Vileplume down. If it wasn't here, this could be pretty nuts. All right, I'll just meditate.
We'll drop Articuno and Confuse Ray. Yes.
Okay, so we're confused again. That's really rough. And we're 10 HP away from death anyway on a Mime. Flipping and winning here isn't... I mean, it does put some 10 away from death, which isn't super great. Flipping and losing, we die and promote Dratini, which gets to live a while. But it's the same game of this Confuse Ray thing. God, I think I'm going to flip for Meditate. That sounds insane, though. That like sounds so bad. Dying on my end step. But if I don't die on my end step, you just kill me with 10 damage anyway. Alright, we're going to flip forward. I want to get some damage on the board. We got damage on the board. Okay.
Nice.
Oof.
Going to attach an energy to Articuno.
Okay.
And we will take out the Mime.
Promote the Dratini. And my turn. I need energies really bad.
Attach an energy to the Kuno. Confuse Ray.
Okay. Energy to the Fortress. And turn.
Confuse Ray.
Oh shit, we got confused this time. Alright, so Dratini's not long for this world. I have to pass though, I think.
Water Gun.
Touch the Fortress. Say go.
Okay, I'm attaching energy to Articuno. Gonna drop a Lapras. And Water Gun.
Go ahead.
Okay. Water Gun.
Had I known I was going to draw that energy, you know, obviously I would have promoted the Fortress, but we didn't know we were hitting it. Soul Rapid Spin for the knockout. Yeah, I have to pick my next guy, which is unfortunate because I just died a Blizzard with Doug Trio, right? Yeah. So I've got to go up to Dark Vileplume, and it's never getting up. Yeah, this is rough. I didn't have enough free retreaters. I filled my bench too full. What do you do?
Alright, I'm gonna drop an Iggly buff. Unfortunately, your Vileplume is...
Yeah.
You're active. I'm gonna attach an energy to Articuno and Blizzard.
Really needed him to try to go for the freeze dry there. The fact that he had the energy. So if he freeze dried and paralyzed my Vileplume, I think I actually win the game. I can't get out of this though. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. You being at one prize is gonna end it. I'm pretty sure. Go ahead. That's it.
Blizzard. Good game. Oh my god, I'm dying. Wow, I was not expecting that deck at all. At all. You took me by surprise, dude. GG.
GG's. Yeah, I think I built it wrong.
That was well fought.
I think if I did it again, I would have added more Bills and Oaks to the deck.
Gotcha.
I didn't really realize how much more draw I needed since I didn't have the Cleffa. I added 2 Oaks.
Sure.
Because the list doesn't play any. It just plays 4 Elms. So I'm playing 2 Oaks, 4 Elms. I probably should have cut like 2 more trainer cards for more draw.
Sure.
And then, yeah, I'm not quite sure
yeah,
if this was even viable.
The buff, the Iggly buff was the single card I needed to get around.
Yeah.
So that's why I went back to Rain Dance because I had the buff and I was like, well, now I can do a damage output deck, you know, plus I have the Lapras for, you know, any like baby Pokemon, Psyduck, Mr. Mime, and then the Iggly buff gets around when I need to play trainers. So that was my whole thought process with building this deck. So
absolutely, yeah, I kind of knew that.
And I just really like Rain Dance as a deck. It's just a fun deck to play. So I'm glad I was able to play it one last time before we get over to rotation. Because, like I said, I have other decks I want to try in mind for our series. So this is likely the last time that we'll see Rain Dance.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool to see. Like, I definitely picked back up during the metagame at the time, and Rain Dance was totally viable. There's a lot of fun setup decks that are viable again because you can turn things off with Iggly buff. And you can set up with babies. You can
I assume you got a play set of Iggly buff because it was uncommon.
Yeah, I've got them. I'm just playing the one in this list. It's possible I should have played 2 to have something to retreat to. Like this turn, if I had an Iggly buff to retreat to, there's a possibility I come back. But
sure.
Honestly, the deck just felt, it's much slower than yours. 3 manually attach energy, and I only play 3 rainbow. It might not have been viable to play this at all.
Fair. I mean, that first game, and I mean this game too. Because I was nervous that you would just try and switch to like Fortress or something. Because I could have knocked out. I have 2 30 HPs and a 40. I could have just gave you the win by missing all my Blizzards too. You know.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
But
it's hard to say.
But that Blizzard hit, so yay.
yeah. It was needed. That's for sure. You needed the energy, and then you needed to flip the right way for that to win right then and there. So fairly close, even though it felt pretty slow. I think
Yeah.
we were just a couple turns away from turning that way. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do in the next one. Let's get over to the winner's circle where Swedish gets to
Yeah.
pull some fun stuff. And I think we adjusted the winner's circle last time.
What's going on, everyone? Swedish and Fish with Frozen Doogie, and welcome to the Pokemon TCG Winners Wheel. We are back after a hard fought. Oh man, Neo Discovery. That was really intense. My heart's still beating, man. Again, good games. We are just gonna get right into it here. Clicky, 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 click, and off we go. See what we get. Oh, a rare wild card.
Nice.
Okay.
It's a really good hit.
I think I know what I want. Be Neogenesis.
When
I'm
we
honestly
rotate,
thinking Pichu because Pichu is in a lot of decks, and
Pichu's for
a
your
lot of
treat.
our
It's got a
Pokemon
good wall.
have Pokemon powers. So I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just a good card to have in any deck. It's down to Cleffa and Pichu. I'm gonna ride the energy of Cleffa. I've been doing really well with it. I'm gonna go and grab the Pichu.
So, guys, thanks for joining us. That is the end of this match in the progression series for the second set in Neo Discovery. Next time, we jump into Neo Revelation, and there's a lot that changes with Neo Revelation. It's a little bit bigger of a set than 75 this time, and we'll be able to jump in and see what the first super standard ever made feels like, where we have just tons of Pokemon and tons of sets to choose from before we hit the last Neo set and ultimately go into rotation with Legendary Collection. Thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again, Swedish. Thanks for the games.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you later.